And then I got ready to go, and she looked so beautiful. And I looked okay. And we got in the car, obviously, to drive Cincinnati, and we go, and it was a wonderful drive.
You just both walk out of like your different rooms and meet in the hallway, and you're both wearing the same dress. And you're just like, one of us is going to have to change.
Yeah. Hey there, Banter Biscuits.
Welcome to Matching Gravy.
So Garrett's shirt, if you're not watching on YouTube right now, Garrett's shirt says orange, and it's orange.
Yeah.
And my shirt has an orange thing on it, but it says hurricane.
Yeah. It was funny when we logged on to 2 hours ago to start recording, we were like, hey, we match.
Yeah.
This is
and
good.
then by the end, it says here at the beginning of our notes, hello, how are yous? But I think we both know how we're doing right now.
It was 2 hours ago. This is interesting because you're starting. This is the first time that we've recorded on a Friday at our homes, right? And this is the first time that we're starting after 2 hours.
If you guys want to lift our spirits up between all the technical difficulties, if you would love to click that like and subscribe button wherever you're listening to and giving us a five-star review, that'll make the misery of trying to figure out how to do two screens at once on a recording of Zoom that much easier.
The funny thing is that we're using all the same equipment, the same computers, the same format, and the same website. It's like the reason why the second Mayflower voyage didn't work.
Did they have a second one?
No, that's the point. Except the difference between us and the second Pilgrims.
Yeah,
is that they still would have had Thanksgiving at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, they're eating their food at the bottom of the ocean, and then octopus Native Americans have bows and arrows behind the coral getting ready.
They're like, I sense danger. Hold on. They're just having Thanksgiving, but it's King Triton.
Yeah,
and he's there with his like spear thing, and he's just like, pass the clam chowder, and then a clam is like, the what?
Yeah, wait, hold on. It just gets dragged away, and you hear just one gunshot underwater. Doesn't make any sense.
We have corn. Anyways, okay.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I just got out of we counted 23 cumulative hours on our road trip.
Okay. Where were you going?
We went down to Tennessee.
This isn't for the FBI,
vacations.
by the way. This isn't for the FBI, by the way. But where are you going? Where did you go?
That's okay. They'll never be able to find these Zoom recordings. I can barely find them.
Okay, yeah. So you went to Tennessee, right?
We went to Tennessee because when you have children, you don't go on vacation. You have friend visiting time. So we visited 3 different friends.
Yes.
I was going to record. We were going to record this episode in Tennessee, but
what happened, Garrett?
I ended up staying on the top of a mountain.
Oh.
On a Confederate battlefield.
Oh, great.
I texted Seth and I was like, hey, I don't know exactly how it's going to be in Tennessee, but I have my microphone.
Yeah, you just have a microphone not hooked up to anything, trying to speak into it like, welcome to Banter Gravy podcast.
Yeah. I can see me on like the Civil War battlefield on the top of the mountain, and I'm sitting there with my computer, and they're just like shooting each other. And they're like, Private Gitchell, help us. And I just take the microphone. I've been like carting around and like stuffing the cannon. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
And
hit me up with some of that banter.
Yeah.
Just get blown away.
And I just go through and I'm wearing a blue Union jacket. Like, Garrett, why are you fighting for the Confederacy?
Yeah.
And you're just half a torso. Like, it's just what they wanted me to do. When the militia calls, the militia calls.
So I told Seth, I was like, I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I texted him and I was like, so the internet is exactly how I'd expect to find on an old battlefield. So we're recording now.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. And then so we were supposed to start at 10:30. It is now almost noon.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to start at 10, and it is now almost noon. The entire time leading up to this was, okay, we're going to try this again. All right, try it again. Try it another time.
Yeah,
this was supposed to be easier.
The 30 biscuits out there appreciate us, right?
They love 30, like 60 now, I think.
There's
I think
60 of you. Awesome.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah.
In the meantime, I've gotten a very charming, we had a visit from my daughter, and she gave me, she brought in a picture of me.
Oh. Why is that a meteor about to hit your face?
Everyone
And
go
why
over
is
to
your eye
YouTube right
bleeding?
now and look at this. This is me. She said, "That's you, Daddy."
What's the other thing?
I think that's my
her
curly hair.
throwing? Is that her throwing like a rock at your face and your eyes bleeding already?
That's
like,
my eyes, obviously.
Okay.
This is me bleeding out
Yeah.
from banging my head against the wall.
I need a med pack.
So yeah, I stayed on a Civil War battlefield. My aunt and uncle's house is right there on the battle above on the lookout mountain where they had the battle above the clouds.
My aunt.
Yeah, aunt. She's always asked us to call her aunt because
Oh my gosh.
they're like an international. My uncle's from South Africa.
Wait, whoa, wait.
Yeah, we have South Africa on both sides of us.
Okay, breaking news from around the
The
gravy. Okay, so wait.
Garrett should
Audrey
not have been
is
born
South
here.
African royalty.
Yeah, and my
And-
uncle is from South Africa.
So your uncle, so your mom's brother, your dad's brother?
My mom's sister's husband. So they met in South Africa, and she brought him home. And now he's the most patriotic American you can imagine.
Well, anybody who comes here from there is. Wait, pause.
Yeah.
You're not South African whatsoever.
No, but my wife is. She has South African blood. On my side though, it's by marriage.
Garrett,
So
you're a
he's
fraud.
Yes, everything about me is fake. Even my
You just
name.
told me that you have South African in your family, in your blood.
I didn't say that. I said Audrey.
Did you not say blood? Oh, Audrey. Well, yes, but you said, yeah, we have South African in both sides of the family.
Well, because one side's by marriage. Okay. You called me Garrett just now, and it's not even my real name. So nothing about this is real. Anyway,
Nothing about this podcast is real.
what I'm trying to say is literally they're on Lookout Mountain. Their house is like steps away from this like battlefield where it's really weird because like I looked into the history as I was walking around. I sent you some pictures of it.
Right.
And it's like a stronghold for the South. And the Union and General Grant was like, see that mountain over there? Take it. And all of these Southerners are on top of it. And the story is that they call it the Battle Above the Clouds because it was foggy that day.
Mm-hmm.
And the Union troops, I give them so much credit for this. They like scaled the side of this mountain like with mud and like they climbed up and they like I went and saw the house that the Confederate what's it called, headquarters were located for the Battle of Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
And they took this house by storm. Like they climbed the side of this mountain and the Southerners were like, "Oh my gosh, we got to get out of here."
They're
And
climbing.
like skedaddled down the
climbing.
mountain.
How do they climb so much when they have all that biscuit and gravy and Coca-Cola in their
We got to leave it behind.
Yeah,
So
because in the
they-
North, we just don't eat biscuits and gravy for every meal.
No, but you do because you're in the South, so it's fine.
I am not in the South. There is a clear river boundary between me and the South.
Oh, do you want to hear a story about that? So we're driving through Cincinnati.
Right.
And I was like, after I texted you, and we're driving across that river, and
The
I was
Ohio
like,
River, that river.
I was like, oh, that bridge does not look good. But we're like trying to make them feel safe because the kids are scared.
Do you know what happened on the bridge?
What?
They 5 people. They're actually being prosecuted right now. They lit it on fire.
Because why
look it
would
up.
you not?
They all,
They're
I
like,
believe,
we
they all
don't want
just
any more of
pled-
those Southerners coming back up this way.
They all just pled guilty, I think. But yeah, they literally so on one of the bridges like 5 years ago, there was a chemical crash and it like corroded the bridge. And then like a year or two ago, somebody else, I don't know if it's the same bridge or a different bridge, but they had arson.
Oh my
gosh. I know. I don't know what the heck's going on, but like the
Why?
bridges in Cincinnati are not I don't know. I wasn't there.
They're not doing good. So we're crossing, and I was like, that bridge doesn't look like it should be a bridge anymore. It does not look good. So we're like, oh, look, kids, we're on a bridge. And then Audrey was like, look over there. Look, guys, there's a different way across the river. And Elle just looked over and she just goes, that bridge is broken.
Yeah.
And we're like,
And there's a few reasons
we're in
why.
Kentucky.
Yeah. There's so much wrong with the bridges in Cincinnati right now because people just can't get it together.
Yeah. Even my tiny, cute daughter can tell something's not right.
Yeah. She's like, that man's hurt.
Yeah. She's
And
like,
he's just
there's
like,
people in the river.
yeah, they're just watching the Civil War reenactments. Like, that man's hurt. And they're just sawing off his leg. It's like, very good, Elle.
Yeah.
He is hurt.
He has gangrene.
Yeah, gangrene.
So we went to this house where the Union troops climbed up the side of this mountain and scared off the Confederate troops. And I looked into it further, and there was apparently that's not where like all of the Confederates were. They were on top of the mountain.
Right.
So General Grant is like, okay, you got to take the whole mountain. So they continued up the top, and I just pictured all this like cinematic music, like da na 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 na, and they finally reached the top, da na, and just like, they're not here.
Yeah.
Because by the time they had gotten to the top, the Southerners were just like, they just like ran down the mountain. They're like, okay, you can have it.
Right. How do you think Union troops scare Southern troops? Like, what do you think scares them? They're like, oh, look, a free man.
Yeah. Ah!
Ah! Hey, look, Pepsi.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a balanced breakfast.
Yeah. They just load the cannon and they're just like, that's not the way we eat around here, sir.
Yeah. And it's just like chicken, literally still alive, but breaded, and they just throw it in boiling oil without breaking eye contact with you. And you're just like,
yeah.
Dear God.
And they're just setting up a Zaxby's right next to it, and the Confederates are just dumping Skyline chili into their cannons.
Yeah.
And Ken Burns is like talking as the camera just zooms out, and it's like,
right.
And that's how the Battle of Lookout Mountain began.
You just like, you go back and you play them a modern day recording of Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, God, make it stop.
Yeah. So all of that was me saying that we did not record on Tuesday.
Oh, that was all of us. That wasn't even about Garrett's trip. That's not even the story. That's just preemptively why we're doing this so late.
Yeah. I've limited myself to not telling stories. I've picked one story to tell for the trip when it comes up.
Go to episode 48, everybody, and you'll know why.
Yeah. So how are you doing? We were just going back and forth. It took us 8 Zoom meetings to bring you this content if you're watching on YouTube. So I hope you're thankful. In our chat, if you look at it, it says Seth in one of the times was like, okay, I think I just found something new. And I just typed back a new co-host.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, yeah, and it's going to be me being replaced.
Yeah.
I am, aside from all the technical problems we were just going through, I am okay. I'm right in the middle of working in Kings Island right now.
Nice. Were you at Kings Island when I texted you?
Maybe it's all a blur.
I was hoping you were.
I think I was. Yeah. Oh man, should we have a new segment every episode called "What's Happening at Kings Island"?
Oh, please tell. Yes.
Because
so you're a ride operator, right?
No.
Okay.
I am in charge, or one of the 3 to 4 people per day in charge of emergency dispatch.
Okay.
So my job is I sit at a computer desk. It's just a desk made of computers. I sit at a desk with a computer. And you
just make a call and it's like, don't touch me.
Yeah. It's like, you know, in Lion King, it's like, long live the king.
Yeah.
You just see me, a computer's about to fall off one of the desk and it's just like barely holding on. And I just go up to him like, Control Alt Delete. Yeah.
Just turns into data and just floats.
Yeah, that's computer. It just floats away. But I sit at a desk and I do, I get phone calls from anybody, and I'm not even kidding. It could be anybody, people in the park, people outside of the park, text messages that show up on the computer of people within the park that'll say like, hey, these people are jumping the line, or this person's smoking a cigarette. I got a phone call a few weeks back.
Oh no.
And I get it. And they're like, hey, so this is us at Windseeker or whatever. And they're like, I don't really know how this is the route operator. He's like, I don't really know how to say this or report it. And I'm just like, I'm ready when you are, man.
God.
There's a groundhog. I'm like, okay.
You didn't know how to say that, huh?
And he's like,
sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. And he's like, on the track. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, is it still put together? Like, and I'm like, okay, like, so do you want us, like, I can call someone to have them remove it? They're like, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. There's another phone call I got once, and they're like, they're
just like, sir, there's a groundhog trying to get on the roller coasters here. And you're like, oh, that's fine. We've had that before. And they just lean in. They're just like, he's trying to get on the log ride.
Yeah. There was another one, dude.
No, get him off right now. He's chewing it.
There was another one. They called me. And she was so friendly. She's like, hey, communications. She's like, hey, communications, how you doing? Hey, Seth, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm great. How are you? She's like, doing really well. I'm like, that's great. So what are you calling for? She's like, oh, yeah. So someone's on the floor right now, completely unconscious. Like, not even kidding. Dude. It immediately went from like happy chipper to
0 to someone's dead.
We have someone on the ground right now. And I'm like, and what I have to ask is, are they breathing? She's like, yeah, they're breathing. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it was like so chipper and friendly. And then she's like, yeah, we have someone down right now. They're currently not moving. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Just like, how you doing? They're like, you would not believe what I just saw in Sex and the City last night.
Yeah.
No, seriously, someone's dying right now.
Yeah, no, that's legit, dude. That is legit from how it started versus where we're at. And I'm just shocked. I'm like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Like, we had to send an ambulance out there. They're fine. But we had to send an ambulance, to go take care of them and everything. And that's literally the job. Like, I'll have that type of phone call and then literally someone calling the next time, hey, can you call my supervisor? I need to use the restroom. Like, it goes from that to, hey, the Coke machine's filling up and we need plumbing to get over here to help fix it. And then back to like, yeah, someone's having a seizure right now. Yeah. Like, I don't, every phone call is a brand new experience. Yeah. I have no flipping idea. So that's my job.
Or lack a box of chocolates. You never know who's going to be dead.
It's so true. So like that is how this summer job's going versus like teaching where it's like, can I have a Band-Aid? I have a paper cut.
Oh,
and I'm just like, okay.
So are you making good side money?
Oh, dude. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Cool. Yeah.
Are you never going back to teaching?
No, I definitely am going back to teaching. Okay. It's good side money, Garrett. It's side money, Garrett. Yeah. No, I get my teacher's salary on top of this.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So, and I know it's going well because I literally just got off the phone with the people in charge of our HVAC system. They're like, yeah, if you want to re-level your HVAC unit outside, that's going to be $1,500. And you see me just blowing my nose in Monopoly money, like, $1,500? Don't you know I'm a part-time associate at Kings Island right now? Just take it.
You just show up. You just have all the properties of Monopoly, and you're like going through them like this with your thumb, like, see that there? That's Park Place. You're going to want to keep that somewhere safe. That's Park
Place. I have 3 out of the 4 railroads right now. You don't want to mess with me.
And it just cuts to a shot of them like loading up your AC. Beep, 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 like with a truck.
Yeah, and they're just taking it away. They're like, I don't know why we've been accepting Monopoly payments this entire time, but you're going to jail.
Yeah.
And you just see me go, not if I have anything to say about it. I have a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
You thought you could trap me. Yeah. So that's how things are going right now.
Like, we're taking somebody, and they just close the doors on that Monopoly guy with the mustache.
Yeah. Today is one of my day offs that I get, which is really cool. So I have today, Saturday, and Sunday off, and then I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Saturday. So I still get a few days off. Shelby's doing VBS and everything next week. Which is wonderful. She's doing awesome and it's great, but she has like a really overloaded schedule right now. And so I'm having to take on some more responsibility just from her end of things. You're right. That's what we do, spouses cover, but we're talking and I'm just like, you're busy. I'm busy. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, is there any way you could be less busy?
Yeah.
Like,
have you done the the customary ships passing in the night little joke.
Yeah, so I was like,
Ships
hey,
passing in the
great
night.
to see ya. All right,
Yeah.
see you later. Yeah, and we just keep going on our business. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's really good because we're working really hard, but we're really excited to actually enjoy each other's company again soon.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be great.
Yeah. Speaking of, I forgot what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I speak sermons
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's why
I just get up for second service and I'm like, okay, everyone, open your Bibles to, wait, where am I?
Yeah. And then the next day, like half the attendance has gone down.
I go out on the platform and I just like adjust my microphone. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll take 2 cheesy fries and
Yeah. It's like, Gary, this is a message from God.
like, oh,
You're like, oh, and a large Coke for the big man upstairs. I think you're about to ask me about a
yeah,
5-year...
oh yeah. So you guys just had a major milestone in y'all yonder's marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
We completely disagreed on something and didn't fight about it. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary.
Last episode,
actually.
you told me that you were going on an adventure, and I wrote it down in the notebook of my brain to be excited about it later. And that time has arrived. So tell me how your date went. Your nice,
Dude,
luxury date.
Let me tell you how it started, and then let me tell you how it ended.
Let me raise you one.
Okay, let me
Tell me about
raise
the
you-
middle.
Yeah. So our 5-year anniversary was on March 21st, but we decided we wanted to celebrate it on the first weekend off that I had off from school in May, just because
Yeah.
everything's nicer, warmer. I don't have to deal with state testing prep in the middle of us celebrating our anniversary. Also, our anniversary is only like 6 days removed from my birthday, which is an entire event in of itself. So we like to space it out just a little bit more. We started out, we woke up, and that's always the vital part, waking up, because if you don't, you're dead.
Yeah.
So we woke
We
up.
decided to stay alive.
Yeah, so we didn't wake up dead. We woke up alive.
Yeah.
And we the first thing we did was we went to Cracker Barrel because
Yeah.
we love Cracker Barrel. It was delicious. We even got fried pickles as an appetizer with our pancakes. You tell me how that makes sense. But it was actually really flipping good. We had Cracker Barrel and we just talked about stuff. Shelby got this thing where we're and this is going to circle back around near the end of the story.
Yeah.
Shelby got this awesome thing where it's like connection type cards, or these type of cards you read, topical cards that start conversations, because we're
nice.
in our 5
Yeah,
months
those
of
are
knowing
fun.
each other. No, but we did it because like, hey, what's some things we would like to eventually talk about? So let's just randomize it. So we were going through a Cracker Barrel. We talked about a couple cards, like what would you do if you had like $100 extra a week of allowance, like fun things. And then realizing that could never happen, so it got depressing. And we left Cracker Barrel. We played, because this is what we do. We don't usually go out, drink, or club or anything. We just have a great time together. So we went to Cracker Barrel. We come home. We went for a walk, and the walk was awesome. And all we were doing when we were going for a walk was judging other people's lawns.
Of course you were. Yes.
And then we circle
Welcome.
back and we go to ours, and I'm like, oh no.
And you had the worst one.
And I'm like, Shelby, like, wait, this is our lawn.
Yeah.
Like, the weeds are ours. We're the people that need to work on this. So
And she's
we
like,
went on a walk.
She's like, that's funny. You just said the word we're.
Yeah, us.
Yeah.
You mean you?
Yeah. We should get the same
went-
person who cleans out our gutters to do this.
Yeah. And then she like, I'm going to call them right now. And my phone starts ringing and she's just looking at me smiling. And I'm like, I get it, Shelby. It's me. So we went on an awesome walk, talked about, whatever. It was beautiful, held hands. It was a beautiful day. And then we go inside and we play Yahtzee.
You guys are so
actually
adorable.
outside.
I love it.
We played Yahtzee, and I got, I think, 3 or 4 Yahtzees in the span of 2 to 3 games. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So we played some Yahtzee. It was a lot of fun. We were talking about stuff with Yahtzee, had a great time. That was really the first like half of the day. Our reservations, we had reservations for dinner to a place called Prima Vista in Cincinnati. Look it up. It has a beautiful, wonderful skyline view of Cincinnati. So Shelby goes to get ready because we gave her a 2-hour head start.
Yeah.
which is smart. And she wasn't even mad. She's like, you know what? I accept that. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
She's
And
like,
so she did that.
You know
and
what? We're celebrating tonight.
I started building the Tantive 4 Lego set that I have, kind of like just do your own thing time. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I got ready to go. And we, both, she looked so beautiful. And I looked okay. And we got in the car, obviously, to drive Cincinnati. And we go. And it was a wonderful drive.
You just both walk out of like your different rooms and meet in the hallway, and you're both wearing the same dress. And you're just like, one of us is gonna have to change.
Yeah. I just walk out. I'm like, I'm not changing.
Yeah.
So those shoes with that lip gloss, I don't think so, honey. Get back in.
Yeah, and it's a shot of you, but she throws that old frumpy thing you found at Palooza in the mud on your face, and it just goes covers you.
And I'm like, I'm still not changing.
Yeah.
So we go to drive down to Cincinnati. Like I said, just an absolute gorgeous day. And we get off of 71. Well, kind of like 71 kind of turns into East 3rd Street in Cincinnati.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh no, you're getting off here.
Yeah, like you get off and you're literally in the heart of Cincinnati, and we're in East 3rd Street, and we're trying to get through the city because the Prima Vista is like a little bit outside of it, but not too outside of it. You know what I mean? And she takes out a card, and she's like, "All right, next conversation thing." Yeah. I'm like, "Sweet, let's do it." She's like, "What makes you nervous?"
Oh gosh.
And
and you're like, let's start with what does not make me nervous.
Yeah. It was a really good discussion, really deep, meaningful discussion of kind of like, here's my anxieties with things. And she talked about hers, and, we bonded, we held hands and said how we support each other through them, and, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're at a stoplight, and, we're just talking about that. And then it kind of went into like, hey, I'm getting this money from not using any of my personal days. I would really like it, because she's talking about clearing the basement of all the boxes we had for moving. And I'm like, I would really like to start creating like a home gym. She's like, that's actually a really good idea. We could slowly start buying things, some weights, a bench, things like that. This is all, sounding good. Great. Koosh.
What? A koosh ball hit you?
And I turn around.
You're like,
and we just got rear-ended.
Oh, dude.
In the middle of the city. On our anniversary.
Come on.
And I looked at her without hesitation.
Why can't people in Ohio...
It was just a pause. And I look at her and I said...
I'm not going to get started.
I said, I would like to update my answer of what makes me nervous. We pull forward.
You just pull out one of the cards, and it's like, does your love have insurance?
Yeah. It's just an Allstate card in the middle of the set. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't just park my car right in the middle of all these traffic lights on East 3rd Street in the heart of Cincinnati. And I look to my left, and the baseball game's letting out.
Did you see the people?
So it is literally...
Did you see the people when you looked in your rear view? Did you see the person driving?
No. Not yet, because I wasn't ready for that.
First thing I look at.
The first thing I did was I asked if she was okay, and she said she was fine.
She said no.
And then I'm thinking, she's like, no, this evening is ruined. No.
She just hands you a prenup.
Yeah. A prenup? You mean divorce papers?
No, because
a prenup?
You guys aren't going to ever do that.
Oh, never, dude.
She's like, this is to remind you.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
This car is yours.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, it is in my name. So I'm like, well, I don't want to park this car to the side because we're on East 3rd Street and the Reds game is letting out. So I'm going to turn right onto whatever street this is next, and then we're going to go pull off to the side because at least it's going to be better.
And then we're going to do a hit and run.
So I turned right onto Main Street.
Of course you did.
It was Main Street.
The worst place to do this. Yeah.
It was Main Street, Garrett. And we pulled off to the side of the road, and he parked behind us. And
was it the Cincinnati Reds playing?
Yes. And we're on trolley tracks, which is also a side part of the street. And I get out of the car, and I'm in a tie and a dress shirt and dress pants and dress shoes.
At least you were wearing something that communicates to the other people that you mean business.
It was perfect attire. I get out and he's like, I think he was like 25, which to me is young. 24, 25. I'm 30 now. He's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. You guys okay? You guys all right? I'm like, yeah, we're fine. We're great. And he's like, this is my first car accident. I'm so sorry. I don't really know how to handle this.
How
and
old
I'm
was
like,
this kid?
like 25, 24.
Okay. Yeah, right.
And I'm like, dear God. And then I look and the bumper is kind of scratched up. And then there's a dent on the trunk. And I'm like, all right. And I have no idea what to do. Like, I know what to do, but I don't know what to do in this situation because you have to understand. The Reds game is letting out and there's people walking and traffic everywhere. I turned right onto Main Street, which was the worst street to go and to park and to do this on.
I mean, it's his first accident.
And it's his first accident, so I have to lead this. And he said, yeah, I was chewing sunflower seeds. And I'm like, so you decided to rear end me. Yeah. And I'm thinking, boy, back in my day, I'd eat a whole quarter pounder with cheese and drive and not hit anybody. Like, that's what I'm thinking.
The correct answer was, I'm not going to tell you what I was doing.
Yes. So I am thinking, okay, let me get my insurance card out. Crap, I don't have my insurance card because...
That's okay.
No, it is okay, but I don't have the paper copy on me because something happened in the mail the last time I was supposed to get them in January. I have it on my phone. Okay, let me just open up State Farm on my phone. Password and username completely blank. I have no idea how to log in.
Of course, right. Well, you don't have to do this now.
And I said,
you just get the license plate and go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't really call the police because we have reservations. I don't have my insurance card up to date. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, just give me your stuff. All right, thanks, man. We'll go and handle this from here. I go and we park and we get our car valeted, which was hilarious. I'm like, hey, by the way, the back can't really get any worse.
You just throw the keys to somebody and the camera pans over and it's just a car being towed by a tractor, but but it's upside down.
Yeah. Sparks just on the hood as it's going.
And you're like, we couldn't find our insurance card.
So I pop my key to the valet person. Once
don't
we get
scratch
to
the
the
bumper, please.
Yeah, I'm like, don't scratch the bumper, LOL. And we go, and I'm actually starting to like feel sore.
Like, it hit you that hard?
Like my neck, I did have a strained neck for a few days for sure. Yeah. And I have cervical spinal stenosis, so my neck problems are like worse than other people's. And I'm just sitting there. And my wife, God bless her, Shelby did everything right. She's sitting in the car trying to give me the stuff. We get to the restaurant. She's trying to relax me. She's saying, we have to go in. We need to get this reservation. Yes. I'm second guessing myself. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, I didn't call the police. Blah, 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 this. I need to do this. We have to make a statement. And all I'm thinking about during that time is all that. And Shelby's trying to be like, we do have to go in. They have delayed our reservation, which is nice. She's trying to make a good evening out of this.
They do that for 20 minutes-ish.
Yes. Yeah. I texted my father-in-law, who is amazing, and he did nothing wrong. He was the one who was thinking logically. I was the one who was like, oh my gosh. He's like, so I'm texting him. He's like, well, did you call the police? And I'm like,
why?
No. He's like, you didn't call the police?
I wouldn't have.
And I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. He's
Which
like,
tells me exactly what you probably should have done.
He's like, did you at least get his information? I'm like, yep, I have his insurance and stuff. He's like, you get their license plate? I'm like, yeah.
You didn't get the license plate.
I didn't get the license plate. I got his phone number though.
Okay.
And I texted him. And I did get his license plate through that. He actually was a decent human being and texted me back and gave me his license plate and stuff.
I think they can still find you if you do.
Well, I had the VIN number and everything. Yeah. Right. Okay. Like it only goes towards one car.
Right.
So I got that, but my father-in-law was trying his best not to laugh at me because I made a big mistake, not, in the moment handling things maybe the way I should have.
You don't need to call the police.
But I still should have got his license plate and stuff, which I didn't at the time, and I did later. We go to dinner. Dinner's fine, but we can't remember because we need to go to the police station after this. We can't remember where we got hit. Like, we don't have the location.
Yeah. The location of it, right.
The waitress is helping us track down where we got hit based on the street and the trolley car and what we passed and things that we could remember. So the whole dinner...
You show up at the police station, and they're like, where did it hit you? And it's just a shot of Shelby, and she's like, I don't really remember. And the camera shoots over to you, and you're just in a full body cast.
Yeah.
And you're like, everywhere.
Yeah. So the waitress eventually, it's like a murder. It's like a whodunit. It's like, where did it happen? So we eventually tracked it down. After dinner, so the waitress was totally invested. After dinner, we go and we drive, and we went back to the scene
of the crime. Yeah,
yep,
and it's just
3rd.
Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote and Matlock standing there. It's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So we go back and we found where it was hit, and then we drive to the police station in the middle of Cincinnati. We get to the police station in the middle of Cincinnati, and we get the paperwork, and we had to fill out
this
our own
ruined your
report.
night.
Yep. We had to
This
fill
completely
out.
destroyed your whole.
We had to
nice
fill
little
out the
evening.
entire report, and Shelby offered to do it. Shelby had also drank a full glass of wine. So Shelby had to write down the VIN number and everything on the police report on a full glass of wine.
They're just reading it, and they're just like, and that's when the duck showed up.
Yeah. And it literally says on the bottom, quack, 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 LOL.
Yeah. And it's like, I can't imagine all the bills this is going to cost.
Yes.
And
So,
they're like, why did you let her do this, sir?
So Shelby and I are trying to fill out the stuff, and she's like, hey, what's your license plate number? And I'm like, that is the second time I can't remember a license plate number tonight.
Dude,
So,
that is the first thing I don't call the cops. I don't do anything right normally. Whenever someone hits me, I literally take out my phone before I talk to them and take a picture of the license plate because I'm afraid of them running away.
Yeah.
Because it happened one time.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yes. The person was going 80 miles an hour and hit me and knocked me unconscious.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, my story isn't as bad as that.
back to your story.
Yeah, back to mine. Yeah,
But
back
I
to the
always
kiddie
take a
pool.
picture of the license plate because I'm like so afraid that that's going to happen.
Yeah. So we're in the police station. She's like, well, what's the back of your license plate? Like, what's your license plate number? I'm like, gosh, I don't know. So I walk out of the police station. I go all the way to the back police station where we parked. I take
they're
a
just
picture of my
stolen.
license plate. I realized later on I already had a picture.
Okay.
I'm walking back to the front of the police station. A police officer is trying to bring in a drunk Latino man
Okay.
who is shouting and screaming at him.
Viva
And
la
he's-
Pueblo!
And he sits him in right to the bench next to me and my wife,
And puts
trying to
them in
fill out
between
this
you.
police report while Shelby's already on one glass of wine. So, moral of the story, and I'll tell you that interaction in a second. Number one,
Wine is
Call the
also
police.
wine. Isn't it like 16% alcohol too?
something like that.
So it's
Call the
like-
police so you don't have to deal with this. The man is sitting next to arguing with two police officers, right? He's like, what? I didn't do anything wrong, officer. I didn't do anything wrong. And one of the officers is black.
Okay.
The other one is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
The guy's like, you're just trying to pick me up right now because I speak Spanish.
Because I
And
speak
this
a
is
Spanish,
totally
you don't
racist.
like. Yeah.
Because I'm Latino. And the Puerto Rican guy's like, police officer's like, well, I'm Puerto Rican. And then the Latino guy's like, just shoot me, man.
Yeah.
Just pull out your gun right now and just shoot me. And then he would literally zone off. He's like, I'm not afraid to die.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to die. Shelby, on a full glass of wine, trying to fill out all this information, is getting frazzled by the Latino man who's in custody, sitting on the bench next to us while trying to
Oh
fill out
my
a police report
God.
of a car accident where I should have called the police beforehand. And that's what ended our 5-year anniversary day.
This is crazy. This is like the judge walks in. They're like, we're going to take care of this right away. And it's just a Latino guy, you trying to fight him off. And Shelby's
Yeah.
like tipsy there. She's just like,
Yeah.
leave him alone. And there's like a
leave
duck
him
sitting there.
alone.
And the
So,
judge is just like, yeah, we're going to deal with this on the regular court date.
So I need to make it up to my wife. Which
It
I'm
wasn't
totally
your
going-
fault.
It wasn't, but at the same time, it could have been better. So
Here's
I'm
the
thinking
thing,
about,
too, is that there's only so many of these before you have kids.
Yeah.
So,
So it was
go
quite a
back.
day to remember. It all went fine up until the rear ending, and then because we can't ever have a good day, and then it started with Cracker Barrel, ended with in a police station, drunk Latino guy shouting at police officers while we're filing a police report.
yeah, right.
And you know what? I wouldn't have had it any other way,
Yeah.
except for the last 5 hours.
Yeah. Did you, when you got home, was she at least like, thank you?
No, when we
Nope.
got home, because
No.
I may have gotten upset with her, and it wasn't her fault
Oh, okay.
per se. I asked her if she wrote down the year, make, and model of the vehicle that was on the insurance that he gave us, and she didn't
Okay.
on the police report. So I'm like,
I
did
just
you write that
pictured you
down?
like pulling up
Like,
back home to your house, and your
Yeah.
car's just like an old jalopy, like
Yeah.
grinds to a halt, and then you're just like, and then the bumper just goes, and
Yeah, it
falls
just
off onto the.
collapses. You're right. So I asked her if she wrote that information down. She said that she didn't, and I got a little upset. And granted, it was 11:30, and I had worship to play music at church the next morning. And
It
I
wasn't
was
your
just done.
actual anniversary day, though,
So,
right?
It's not like we came home and she said thank you. It was we came home and I said I'm sorry for yelling, and she also said thank you for handling this.
There we
and
go.
We kind of made up, but it was just
You
come
you got
on.
you got rear-ended and fishtailed into a tailspin of
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. So that's what happened. That's the day. It was fun, but it ended with
At least you had valet.
shenanigans. At least we had what?
Valet.
Valet. Yeah, I just throw him the keys. I'm like, hey, so be real careful with this.
Yeah, and then you're like, "Where's the cheese?" And they're just like, "That's Velveeta."
All right, Garrett. Hopefully your trip went better than mine. What happened going
Yeah.
to Tennessee and everything, dude? Share with me
Well,
one great story.
Because I'm me, I can't share it all,
Yeah.
even though
It'll
I'd
be
want
3
to.
episodes worth. Yeah.
So you get to choose.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me
Do
my
you
options.
want the Southern Poop Adventure, or do you want the Children's Library story?
Children's Library, hands
Okay.
down.
All right, then we'll put that story on the wheel because that's a good one.
Okay.
So, in all of our adventures, we were in 3 separate locations. An Airbnb with Audrey and my friends from our like early days of being married, and her earliest childhood friends, like her junior high and high school good friends that actually I've known, like the percentage of time we've known each other is getting close because we've been married 16 years now. So, and she's only known them for like 4 years longer than me.
Yeah.
So anyway, we took a vacation with them and it was crazy. Graham is what you'd call spirited, and Elle is 3. So
we say that at school with kids. We're like, yeah, he's very spirited. So get the ADHD medication. Yeah, get the ADHD medication.
Well, we're actually exploring like what it is that's going on with his brain. He's got an occupational therapist, so OT.
Oh,
and
interesting.
so we're exploring how to raise him because he definitely is not like similar to the other children. And we don't know. It's definitely not autism. We've ruled that out. So now it's between like, okay, well, what like kind of hyperactivity is this, right? So basically anytime that he gets stressed or there's clutter or there's a lot of people, he goes bonkers, bananas. Like he starts destroying things, misbehaving, breaking
sensory?
things,
Is it a
taking
sensory
things
thing?
apart. Yeah, it's definitely sensory for sure.
Okay, yeah.
But and Elle's 3, so she's just naturally 3.
Yeah.
And so anytime she just
does a
causes
twirl.
havoc because of the
She
age.
just does a twirl, and then below says, naturally 3 by L.
Yeah. And then she slowly takes out a remote control with a big red button.
Yeah.
And we're just like, L?
L.
And she presses it, and there's a mushroom cloud just starts forming way in the distance.
In the background. I had a dream, dude. Okay, side quest real quick. Hold on. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You totally just jogged a memory. I had a dream 2 nights ago that I created 3 nuclear bombs, and I placed them all over somewhere in the world, but I couldn't remember where I put them.
Yeah.
And then we were at school, and then all of a sudden, like somehow somebody found one or something happened, and I was hoping I was talking to someone like in 5. I was like, "Hey, dude, I made like these 3 nuclear bombs. I don't know where they are, but like I'm afraid one's gonna go off and blah blah blah." They're like, "You should be fine, blah blah." You should. And then in the background over their shoulder, I see just a bright light and then a mushroom cloud just forming in the background.
Oh, weird.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
Like,
and it just goes, and just like
yeah,
takes,
yes, exactly. And the wind came and it brushed us down, and I'm like, "Oh my."
You've
Yeah.
clearly been watching Rick and Morty.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the kids are crazy, and we have to take them out of the cabin for the other people's sake from time to time. So the first the first one we got through it. Audrey's friends had grace, but we did have to take them out and separate them from the friends just to give them a breather, and they understand because we prepare them. But
Do
it
her
is
friends
crazy
have
for
children?
what's that?
Do her friends?
One of them, no. Sorry,
I
Seth
just
is
sneezed.
exploding
Go
right
ahead.
now.
Wow, this is like the nuclear bomb in my dream. So do they have kids?
Yeah, so one of them does not. Nor is she married. The other one has raised a child kind of by herself. Seth is still turning his insides out.
Oh, I can't stop sneezing.
He mutes it, so all I see is him just violently going like that with no sound. And then he unmutes, and his stomach is just hanging out of his nose, and he's just like, "Go on."
Yeah.
The other one had kind of a bumpy marriage. She's divorced, so kind of raised one of the kids, a spirited child as well, but kind of on her own.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
It does, completely.
And
yes.
now has a newborn with her new husband who stayed with us.
I'm glad you said I'm glad you said newborn with new husband.
Right.
Because
so it's their
what
child
would have been
together
scary
now.
would have been like, it has a newborn with somebody else who we don't
Right.
know. That would have been like, oh, shoot, dude.
He is her son and his stepson, and they have a baby together, a 6-month-old baby named Rafe, who is absolutely adorable. And I'll put a picture here for YouTube of him.
If the parents allow it.
She will. So anyway, we take them out. So on the second leg of the trip, I went to go see my aunt on Lookout Mountain.
Aunt, yeah.
You hate that I say that, don't you? Sorry, she made us say it as children. Okay, sue me.
I don't care. It's just
seriously, don't sue me. We don't have anything.
Yeah, we don't.
That would be a weird
money.
court.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we just kind of do this as a courtesy to the guests that we're staying with, and they are, by the way, because realty.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah, no, you're right.
home ownership is expensive on Lookout
bet.
Mountain by the battlefield.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah.
So they live in a 2-bedroom cottage, and it's a cottage, so it's tiny. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So we took them out on an adventure, and Audrey chose to go to a library in Chattanooga.
Oh, good.
So we walk into this library, and it's a circle library. It's like, I don't even know what to call it. It's like the building is round. And so in one of the segments, we walk in, and there's just children like shredding books and throwing things and like splattering pudding against the wall, and it's chaos.
Like purposely, it's supposed to be that way. Okay.
Well, no, because there's like 26 kids.
They're
like
just running
Ramsay,
wild,
and they're waiting to start story time.
Yeah.
Which, if you try to keep any child for 30 seconds sitting there, they will not.
Right.
And I turn to the left, and there's this old woman who's sitting there just with this look, like waiting till the time to start story time. And of course, parents get their kids there early.
Yeah, gosh.
But they will not start story time until it's time.
Oh my gosh.
So they start story time, and it's a story about ducks.
Oh.
And it's this old woman who's sitting there, and she's kind of on the heavier side. And she's got this like very not conducive tone.
Okay.
And she starts the book, and she gets halfway through the book, and I swear to you that one of the lines is like, and then the duck decided to take a nap. And she's like, and then the duck decided to take a nap. And I wish I could take a nap.
She said that?
Yeah. And I'm like, that. And then Audrey leans over to me, and she goes, yeah, this woman is past her prime.
Yeah. I would have leaned over and whispered, be like, yeah, this woman isn't really very spirited.
Yeah. And so all the kids are just like going bonkers, and I'm like, well, she's not. I mean, what do you expect? You're not like captivating their attention.
Right.
And so then the Shakers came out.
What?
And like, because they do these things where they turn on like the music, and it's that song that's like, I'm gonna shake my sillies out, shake my sillies out. You know that song?
Nope.
And they give shakers to all the kids, egg shakers.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know egg shakers. Yes.
Yeah. And then all the front row of kids is standing in line shaking them like this, like very good kids. And I look over to this side. Elle's on this side. Graham's on this side. And Graham is on his back, spinning in a circle.
Okay.
And his legs are windmilling.
Oh my gosh.
Like, have you ever seen a break dancer with his legs going around? But he's spinning at the same time.
Right.
And then he turns on his belly and does the same thing. He's spinning and his legs are gyrating. And I'm like, I look over and then Audrey leans over and she's like, is he break dancing? And we both said it at the same time. And then I'm like, well, at least we have one good child. Yeah. And then I look over and Elle is sitting down. And I'm like, why is she sitting? And then she gets up and picks up her egg and says, I laid an egg.
And you just pull your kids. You're like, we're leaving.
We're going now.
Yeah.
All the other kids are just standing there shaking their eggs
like they're supposed to.
And my kids.
One's breakdancing. One's like, look, I laid this.
I pooped an egg out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, then craft time began.
Oh my gosh.
And they start bringing out, because it's all about birds, right? The whole story time is about birds.
Which is ironic for you. Go back to our earlier episodes, Banter Biscuits.
Yeah. And we look at each other and we're like, there's another segment of this?
Dear God.
Me and Audrey. And we're like, how long is this thing? And how long can we stand this without being embarrassed?
Right.
And so they start handing out the supplies, and I start realizing, oh, they want us to make a duck. So I take Graham and Audrey takes Elle, and we go to separate parts of the room because our kids working together is never a good idea. And Graham and I created this little ditty.
Garrett, it is not appropriate to say ditty anymore. I just want to let you know. Oh. Like
Graham and I created this little fun guy. Well,
hi.
Little,
paper bag duck.
Who I am now calling Tennessee Tim.
Garrett, are you having a mental breakdown right now?
No, I'm just showing you our creation. You see the feathers?
This is the equivalent of Mr. Hat.
Yeah. I put him on and I'm like, I turn to Graham and I'm like, he's like, what is this thing? And I'm like, let me show you. And I put him on my hand and I'm like, well, hi, Graham. Why did those Northerners take away our cotton?
Oh my gosh, no. Garrett, no.
And as I said that, this woman looks over to me and she's just like, and she like takes her child and like moves away. And I look up at Audrey and I'm like, perhaps it's time for us to return to the cottage.
If you're going to teach your child about why slavery in America ended, the best thing you can do is actually tell them at the end why.
Yeah.
Not, why did they take away our cotton?
Yeah.
Because
so
you were enslaving an entire race of people and it was wrong.
So we're on the battlefield a little bit later. And Graham is like, he's like, what is this place? And I'm like, well, this is where the soldiers fought each other. And he's just like, why were they fighting? And I'm like, I was like, which way do I go? I'm like, states' rights. And I'm like, well, some people in the South wanted to do things not the way the people in the North wanted to do them. And he's like, what did they want to do? And I'm like,
no, Garrett, just tell him. Just tell him. Tell him like, why.
Some people wanted to own other people. And he's just like, that doesn't sound right. And I was just like, no, son, it doesn't. I was like, look over there, a cannon.
Hey, you be careful. We have mutual friends of ours that are lost causers that'll say, no, it was Northern aggression. They wanted to impede on states' rights. And then I go up to them like, but why what were the rights they were trying to impede on? Well, that doesn't matter. No.
So how I'll end this is I was expecting a little more like conflict. Yeah. No pun intended.
Really?
I did not see a Confederate flag until we pulled back into Ohio.
That's exactly
we were navigating Lorraine, the streets of Lorraine, almost home.
Oh my!
And there was a Confederate flag waving.
The Rust Belt. Oh my gosh!
I was like, why did it take this long to see one of those?
Because in the North, they don't actually understand.
Yeah. Anyway, there's 1/50th of my trip.
Okay.
The end. All right, Banter Biscuits. Seth wanted to end the podcast, and I said, no, let's do something more fun. So we're going to do one random trivia question each because I still don't feel dumb enough.
Yeah.
What episode was our last trivia adventure?
Oh, I don't know, dude. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But I like this. So Garrett got this app that has different trivia questions on it that we don't have to come up with. Because before we were trying to come up with these trivia questions, and Garrett would ask me easy ones like, "What's the 8th planet from the sun?"
Yeah.
And I would ask him, "Which president was in charge when the United States completed the Gadsden Purchase in 1854?"
And then the next question was, which row of the chapel did we meet in?
Yeah.
Like really, really random personal.
I'm like,
things
you're
about
making
our
this
friendship.
personal about us? You're like, yeah, dude. I'm like, I don't know. Like, the answer was the parking lot, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I
That's
do
where we
remember
met.
that. Yeah. I want you to pick a random number, and I'm gonna click on. I haven't looked at the questions yet, but there's 1 through 6.
Okay.
All right. So which number am I
If
taking
you
on?
scroll down, it'll go more. I'm thinking of 3.
Okay, 3. Oh, mother son of a gun. UNICEF stands for what?
Oh my gosh.
Do you know this?
In the 6th grade. I knew this in the 6th grade because I
I
did something
still
for
don't know it.
UNICEF.
United.
UNICEF? Oh, no. I got this. UNICEF. United Nations.
That's 2 letters.
Did I get it?
There's still 4.
Okay, but did I get that right?
I don't know. I haven't clicked on it yet.
Okay. Unite.
I now know what
Oh
it is
my-
because I clicked on it.
Okay.
You have should I tell you how much you have correct?
Yes.
Okay, the first 2 words are correct.
Okay.
So
United.
stay on that path.
Nations. I am. United.
UNICEF.
CEF.
ICEF.
ICEF. United Nations International Charity. United Nations International Charity. CEF.
Yeah.
Charity. Something Foundation.
Children's Emergency Fund. So I'm going to give you a 60%.
I got a D.
Because that was awesome.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
United Nations International is not how far I would have gotten.
Okay.
As I only made it to United.
Well, isn't United Nations International already? Aren't we throwing in like a letter / word that?
Yeah.
If it's the United,
United
Nations,
Nations
isn't it already international?
International, worldly, between oceans,
Yeah, exactly.
interplanetary.
Passporty.
Okay, I'm gonna commend you for that. You made it most of the way through that.
Okay. Let's do 10 through 15.
Okay, 11.
Okay. Ooh, I think you'll like this. Which city was the first ever to host the Olympic Games twice?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Los Angeles.
Wrong. It is actually Paris. It is Paris.
Okay. All right. Was the last one that they did in Paris? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was
so
that the
that's
second
new.
time?
Yep, I believe so.
Oh,
I think.
Well,
yeah.
good job, Paris.
Well,
I think
if-
LA definitely has had it twice, though.
I don't. Biscuits, if you guys are just as confused as we are, please click like and subscribe wherever you are listening to and give us a 5-star review. And if you have any topic suggestions or ideas or something you want us to talk about, please email bantergravy@gmail.com and we'll get to it maybe.
And don't forget, Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday.
Take care, everybody. Put the duck away, Garrett.
Goodbye.